Hey, everybody. Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome, in fact, to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. It's been a while since we've done a Rockin Robbie Live. It's been like 2 months, maybe actually a little bit over 2 months. But I wanted to come here and do a live show tonight, just kind of address the absence of Rockin Robbie Live and the future of Pop Culture Philosophers. We are at the end of our 2025 year, our 10th year celebration of PCPX. And I don't know, I just wanted to kind of come on a Sunday night, like old school, no bells, no whistles tonight, everybody. Just me and you, and just talking about life, pop culture, and the future of this channel, and what we're doing here on Pop Culture Philosophers, what we're doing on PCP Movie Night, and just all of that. So I just wanted to come on and do an old school Rockin Robbie Live. Like I said, there's no DC sneak peek. There's no Marvel in the 90s. There's none of that stuff. And there are going to be some changes to the channel going forward. There's already been a bit of a break going on, especially with Rockin Robbie Live. That will continue. We'll address that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the future of this show in particular. And we'll talk about the future of PCP in general and the other shows. So that's what we want to do. But just, it's been a while since I've done a one-on-one live with you, the PCP Army. So I wanted to come on and do that and just kind of talk to everybody. So once you get here, throw out a station in the chat, maybe even a pop, pop, boom. Let us know that you are in the room. Tonight I am drinking Founder's Mortal Bloom. It's an Imperial Thorn IPA. I don't know what the hell that means. I've never had this. It says it has citrusy notes with a smooth finish. So we'll see. I like it so far. This is the first one I've opened. I got another one right there. And if things get a little bit wild tonight, I have this bourbon that Mike the Voice Matthews bought me. It's Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon. It's a very tiny bottle of it. It's very expensive stuff apparently, but we bought this in Kentucky when we were at Scarefest. So I'll let y'all get into the chat, then we will address the chat. But just to catch you up on what's been going on with me, I've had very wild, crazy couple months. Okay. So let's see. We did the New York trip, me and Mike, in the very tail end of August, beginning of September. So I got to go to New York City for the first time in my life. I've always been obsessed with that city. I got to meet Fable and Joe Corallo, and I got to meet two of the homies in person. I got to go see some sights. I got to go visit Yankee Stadium. I got to walk the streets of New York. I got to get a hot dog at Gray's Papaya. I got to get authentic New York pizza. I had a grand time. And I got to go over to Jersey to MetLife Stadium to watch Oasis, my favorite band of all time. So, Mike, I fucking love you. Thank you for helping make that trip happen. That trip only happened because of Mike. Also, my first time on a plane. That was my first time on a plane. And let me tell you how that went real quick. Right before takeoff, Mike's like looking at me and he's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "No, dude. I'm like severely anxious. I just want a drink. That's what I want. I want a drink, but there is no drink to have." I thought about getting a drink at the airport before I got on the plane, but I didn't. I kind of wish I would have. But I was incredibly anxious. And I didn't want to be talked to or to speak at all right before takeoff or during takeoff. Takeoff happened. Man, I'm clutching my seat. We get up there, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, everything's cool, kosher, awesome. When we land in New York, that was fucking awesome. And then when we left New York, when I'm on the plane, I'm like opening the window and like ready to see us. And I'm ready for takeoff. Like I'm like locked in and I love flying. It was like the first 15 minutes including the 5 minutes before takeoff and the 10 minutes after takeoff. That was the worst for me. But now I fucking love flying. I didn't realize how much you would feel while you're flying. For some reason, I thought you would just be like on a plane and not feel that you were like moving. But you do feel like you're moving, and you even feel like the plane like do this kind of stuff, especially when it banks and curves and shit. And I wound up loving that shit. I thought it was awesome. So I love that. While I was in New York, I loved that city. I want to go back every year. Seriously. One of the things I want to address real quick, future of PCP in 2025, 2026, I might be doing less cons because I want to make sure that I can go and do things that I want to do and visit places I want to see without having to be tied into a con, if that makes sense. But like, I think I want to go to New York every year. I do. Like, and I got to tour Yankee Stadium, but the Yankees were out of town, so I didn't get to see a Yankees game. Now, I did get to see the Yankees play this year in Atlanta, but I haven't seen them play in Yankee Stadium. But I have been to Yankee Stadium. I've been all up and down that motherfucker, man. That shit was awesome. If you want to see pictures of my New York trip, they are on my Instagram feed, Pop Culture Philosophers. And if you're follow me on Facebook, because I'm an old hat, so I'm also on Facebook, Robbie Bills, PCP Army, the Facebook group. I think there was some stuff there too. You can check that out. But the New York trip was great. A month and a half after that, we did the Scarefest trip. We went to Lexington, Kentucky, me and Mike again, and we had a great time there. Met Barbara Crampton, Bruce Abbott, Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator and other Stuart Gordon films and other films. Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser, Tom Atkins, Zach Galligan from Gremlins. Got to run into Linnea Quigley again, and of course, Felissa Rose, our homie. Had a great time at Scarefest. It was absolutely great. It was baller. It was cool. It was fun. And those pics are also on our Instagram page, Pop Culture Philosophers, and of course on my personal Facebook, Robbie Bills, as well as the PCP Army, which is the Facebook group. So yeah. So two awesome trips. In the midst of all of that, we launched Horror Fest. And this year we have 4 channels involved. And this is something that I do every single year. It happens twice a year, actually. It happens in March, April, and it happens in September, October. And it just so happens to seem to coincide with March Madness and Horror Fest. What it is I overbook myself. I overpromise. I try to make each year bigger than the last, and I try to be involved as much as possible. Meaning that I want to jump onto other people's channels. So, for instance, I was on 2 of Fable's shows this year. Fable did his shows on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are the day that I'm supposed to be doing my weekly comic book review, and it was all able to get done, and I loved doing those shows with Fable, but it just kind of, that's just one instance of like why things started tightening up for me around Horror Fest in particular. So yeah, I mean, but Horror Fest was great. I fucking had a blast doing those shows with Fable. I did on Fable's channel, I did Chud, and I did Necronomicon, which is a movie I'd never seen. So that was really cool. Brian Usna film. And I got to talk to Jeffrey Combs a little bit about it because that was like right before I went to Scarefest. So that was dope. On Verno's channel, Blood Splatter Chatter, I was able to do a Korean film called The Wailing, and that was super fun. It was a movie I'd never seen that I really, really loved. And I got to do Cannibal Holocaust, which is a movie I've never done on my channel, nor have we ever done it on DHS or anybody else. So that was super cool. I wasn't able to do any of Dylan's shows this year because his schedule was, he was doing them on weird nights, and I couldn't lock it in. And so I just wasn't able to make any of those, but I do want to appear on DHS again soon. But Horror Fest was a blast. And, you know, we here at PCP, I overload us with like franchise reviews and shit like that, you know. So in the midst of all of this, we'll get to the chat here in a second. But in the midst of all of this, you know, Horror Fest is going on. I did the New York trip as soon as Horror Fest had started. Like Horror Fest was like 2 weeks in. I did the New York trip. Then Horror Fest is like 6 weeks in. We're doing Scarefest. And then Horror Fest is rolling through. We got all these movies to cover. And there was a literal gauntlet there at the end where, including the monthly review and some other obligations, it's like nonstop for that last week, man. And you know what? It can take a lot out of you. Now, here's the thing. Also, at the same time, in my personal life, there has been a lot going on. I had a medical issue I had to deal with. Nothing super crazy, but in the midst of that, it was brought to my attention another potential future medical issue. And that might be related to stress and overworking. Okay. And so I don't overwork. And then everybody in my life's like, oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay. At the same time, a lot has changed at the comic shop, where I am now trying to take on more responsibilities than I was, and like stepping up a little bit more there. And I've had some things happen in my personal life with personal relationships where I've needed to step up more on that front as well. So I need to step up in my personal life with my personal relationships, talking about partners, talking about friends, talking about associates, family, And then I got to step up at the comic shop, and I got to step up for me in my personal life by not overworking and stepping back and doing less and trying to keep stress levels and blood pressure levels low. Right now I'm good, but it could become an issue. So during Horror Fest, it was pretty much impossible with the trips and Horror Fest and everything going on with my personal life. It's pretty much impossible to do some extra stuff. I even had to ditch out on Dynamite a couple of times doing interviews and things like that, right? And I feel bad about that, but I had to. And here we are now, post-Horror Fest. Horror Fest is over, and the post-Horror Fest slight gauntlet is over. It's done. And now, like, the schedule's kind of clear. And I'm able to, like, look at the next month. The next month after that, November, December, I've already been planning PCP movie night for 2026. And I'm looking towards the future. And I'm trying to see how I make this all work. Okay? Because, for instance, I want to be better at my job at the comic shop. I want to be better in my personal life with my relationships, with my friends and family and loved ones. I want to be better to myself with taking care of myself. And, if you look throughout the history of PCP, you go from skinny Robbie to fat Robbie to skinny Robbie back to fat Robbie. And I need to take better care of myself for certain. Maybe some of us need to do that. There's also been some things going on that have helped bring that back to my attention. How important and precious life is. How we should take care of ourselves. So I got to give myself time for rest and to take better care of myself. And I got to step up in my personal life, in my comic shop day job. But I also want to step up here at PCP. But the way I do that is I got to think about where this channel's going and what we're doing and what effort I'm putting in. So I'm about to get to the chat and we'll address the rest of it because I'm sure that you might have some comments that might help me with the next phase of this video, of this live stream. But so basically that's where I'm at. And I want to talk to you and see what you guys are doing, how you're doing. And I am then going to address where this channel is going and what we're going to be doing and what all the stuff in my personal life how that's going to impact this channel, which impacts our relationship, if that makes sense. So I have ideas, but the first thing I want to ask, and then I'm going to start going through the comments just from the beginning. What is your 100% favorite thing about this channel as far as shows, like what particular show or what particular content? What is it that you love the most? And then tell me your number 2. So your favorite thing, and then your second favorite thing. I kind of want to, I got a notepad here. I'm going to be taking some notes because PCP, Pop Culture Philosophers, is plural. It's not just about me. There you go. Before we get to your comments, though, I do want to point out a couple things. I just did a show with MJ Comics over at his channel on Friday. Let's Talk Comics with Rockin Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. It's like a 2-hour conversation. It was absolutely fantastic. MJ Comics is a stand-up, super cool dude with great hair, a great voice, and he is truly a distinguished member of the comic book YouTube space. So definitely make time to go check that out. If there are any blue wrenches in the chat, please throw out the link to all of these. Thursday, right before that, I got to have a conversation, the privilege of hosting a conversation with Tad Stones, creator of Darkwing Duck, and Greg Weisman, creator of Gargoyles. They got a new Dynamite book coming out, Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck. They're crossing over properties. These dudes worked in Disney animation. They created some of the most iconic Disney afternoon franchises out there. And I've had Greg on the channel a couple of times. This was his 3rd appearance, but the first time I've ever had Tad, first time I ever had the two of them together. It was a great conversation. Please check that out. And then I dropped a short form, just me in the studio movie review of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which dropped on Netflix on Friday. I watched it. I did a little video, put it out there. People seem to like it. I want to know if you want to see more of that kind of content, because that's one of my kind of ideas is I want to do more short form movie reviews so that we have even more movie content, honestly. So that's what we got. Check those out. Let's take a look at the chat. First off, we got Eddie in here. Eddie says, hope all is going well, Robbie Station. All is going well, bruh. I really appreciate it, Eddie. Thank you. I hope all is going well with you. Our Ariaga's in the house saying, Station Gents. You know what? I'm on StreamYard right now. I can actually do this. That's pretty freaking cool. Yeah. I never did that on StreamYard. For some reason, StreamYard had a weird thing. I couldn't get it to quite work, so we're just on StreamYard. And like I said, no bells or whistles tonight. And we'll see. We got JSS Brooklyn in the house. Congratulations on your Blue Wrench Award at the CBCs, man. It was cool seeing you in the chat for MJ Comics. That was awesome. Name Changes says, hola, it's been a minute since you did a Rockin Robbie Live. Yeah, it has been. Pete says, welcome back, dude. Station, what's up, chat? Got Contemporary Comics in the house. Handstand Dad. Metal Elf Collectibles. Station, y'all. D-Sima 12. Two Gun Pedro. That's right, pop, pop, boom, motherfuckers. You know it. Yeah, Station. Neighborhood Merc, what's up, homie? We all chilling, the coolest dude in comics tonight. Well, thank you, Handstand Dad. I appreciate that. Neighborhood Merc's got a few bottle of Blantons. I've never had it, so I don't even know if I like it, but we'll see. Comics and Sticks says, what's up, Robbie? Welcome back. And what is the future of Pop Culture Philosophers? Well, we're going to be getting to that here very shortly. What's up, Anthony? It says, what's good, brother? Great to have you back. Well, great to be back. Oh, Blantons is a great one. Yeah, he was telling me that there's like different horses on the top of all these bottles. This is the tiny bottle, right? This tiny bottle is, I think, like $18 or something. But like, we saw some of the big bottles. We were in Kentucky. What do you do in Kentucky? You go to Scarefest, you watch basketball, you clean up horse shit, and you drink bourbon. That's what you do, right? What's up, CTA Frank? That is cool. Yeah, it's cool. I got to meet Fable and Joe. It was dope as hell. Should have eaten edible. Woo. I've had some interesting times on edibles lately, and trust me. Yeah, New York Comic Con might be fun. I just don't know if I like. I mean, cons are fine. I'm figuring out my con lineup for next year right now. The Expo for certain, Heroes Con for certain. Those are the two comic cons that are certain right now. Some other ones are on the fence. Good y'all talking to each other. Steve, what's up? Hey, yeah, finally made a live stream in England, so it's a bummer. These things are 1 a.m. Yeah, I'm sorry. Saw you with MJ. Great conversation. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I did see that they announced Gremlins 3. Very excited for that. Like I said, I just met Zach Galligan. I wanted to ask him about Gremlins 3, but I was like, I bet he hears that all the fucking time. So I didn't. But I'm very excited. Chris Columbus is attached to direct it. Steven Spielberg is producing it. But Chris Columbus, the writer of the original, is directing it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. What's up, Kenneth? How you doing? What's up, Fable? See you out there, but beautiful. I see you. So sad you missed the quiz review for Horror Fest. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday night we had a great post Horror Fest look back show on Blood Splatter Chatter. I was there, Fable was there, Verna was there, Brooks and Jelani were there, Stu and Link were there, and Wes was there as well. We did a little bit of trivia with the chat and with the panel, and I won one of the awards in the panel, so I'm very excited for that. Yo, we got Choco's 26 in the house. What's up, my man? How you doing? Dude, I'm about to make some PCP movie night announcements tonight. And one of those movies is actually sponsored by you and your lovely wife, man. So there you go. Fable says, appreciate everything you've done for me and my brother. Love you, and I value our friendship greatly. Oh, fuck, dude. I feel the same way, Fable. I really, really fucking do, man. That was some badass pizza, by the way. The Limelight or whatever, the old club, church club thing. Man, that was dope. What's up, Akers? Yeah, Fable, I want to get to New York at least once a year. Can I do house sitter? Goldie Hanuary for January. Well, January's already figured out, but one of the things about what I want to maybe do more going forward involves more movie reviews. So we'll see. Two Gun Pedro says, you've been grinding, Robbie. You need a break. Well, thank you. Two Gun Pedro knows and understands for especially the Horror Fest grind. No shit. Action Base, I trust your recommendations. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Weekly comic book review is tops. Weekly comic book review. All right. I figure we might get a few people that are saying the weekly comic book review is their favorite thing. And you know what? Say it. We'll mark it down. Nothing is going to change about the weekly comic book review. My plan is to still do that all the way through because I get through every week to next October. That's 10 years in a row, never missing a week. So, God's willing, that's what we're trying to do. Would I rather vacation on Naboo or Greece? Greece. Easy. Greece. Metal Elf says, if there's anything I can help with, Robbie, please let me know, brother. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will. Weird Dopes, what's up? Pete says, the Sunday live show is tops for me and the weekly comic book review. Movie reviews after that. All right, weekly comic book review, Rockin Robbie Live, and of course, PCP movie night. I'll go ahead and tell you this. Ain't nothing changing with PCP movie night. In fact, if anything, the PCP movie night is actually adding some things this year because we're adding some new panelists that you'll start seeing very, very shortly. Contemporary Comic loves the monthly comic book review. I do too. Our Ariaga says, number one, the community. Number two, you love the Sunday streams. Our Ariaga says, number two is the weekly comic book review. Wow, that's crazy. You put Rockin Robbie live over weekly comic book review. That's pretty dope. Neighborhood Merc says, I haven't missed a weekly comic book review in 4 years since I've been watching PCP. I love watching this show, Rockin Robbie Live. All right. I think I'm seeing a pattern here. Choco says, the weekly review and the monthly review. Second is the live stream on Sunday. Wow. I wasn't expecting so much love for the Sunday show, y'all. Thank you. What's up, Eddie? The weekly and the monthly. Hell yeah. Eddie says, my favorite things are your horror movie reviews. Love Horror Fest. My second favorite thing. Feel free to laugh is the Hellboy song. Hell yeah, brother. Our Ariaga says, the movie reviews. You usually pick things that I love. Hell yeah. Movie discussion, comic book discussion. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Fable, for throwing up the link to the MJ Comics interview. It was so great. I think less than 200 people have watched it last time I checked. So let's let MJ know that I'm viable as a guest. Hell yeah, Acres. Sunday Live, weekly review. Frankenstein short movie reviews, and your interviews are all great. Oh, we got some interview love there. That's great. Yep, y'all like Rockin Robbie Live. That's nice. I'm glad you like the Frankenstein review. Would I rather be in an action comedy with Andrew Dice Clay or Sam Elliott? Both. Why choose? Why choose one? Thank you so much, Fable, for throwing out the chat with Tad and Greg, creators of Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles, respectively. Watcher Collects Comics says, Station Robbie, weekly comic book review is a staple for me for years. Hell yeah. D is absolutely ready for the Absolute Joker Demon. Me too. I'm very curious about that. FOC for that book is tomorrow. So make sure you let your shop know, especially if you want variant covers, because I think this book is going to be the highest selling issue of Absolute Batman since issue number 1. And I think it will sell out. I think that we are all going to underorder this fucking book. Fable, thank you for sharing the Frankenstein movie review. It's basically a non-spoiler review. So y'all can definitely check that out. So there it is right there. Non-spoilers for the most part. Had a great conversation with Tad Stone, or Tad Stones, I should say. And then there's the conversation with MJ Comics right there. I lost where I was in the chat. So that comment stuck. There it is. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, Bullseye Bob? Yo, my brother Robbie. Good to see you, man. Good to see you too, Bob. I'm looking forward to the Coffee and Comics show tomorrow. I believe that I will be featured on that show. I would interview Mike Judge if he was available. You want to set that up for me, Akers? What's up, Ghetto Head? How you doing? Eddie Von B really loved that game of trivia on Thursday. Hell yeah, me too, man. That was good stuff. Weekly comic book reviews, 100%. Yep. And then the live show. Hell yeah, all right. Yo, what's up, Damien? Sleepy Reader 666 is in the house. Fable says, do whatever you feel is in your heart and you'll never miss. The PCP army is always behind you. Well, thank you for that sentiment, Fable. I really do appreciate that. Hello, Tacos says, Rockin Robbie Live is #1. Hell yeah, man. I like hearing that. Movie nights are terrific. Hell yeah. Hugh, Jelani, and Brooks and Three Amigos. That would be fucking fun. We are the Three Amigos. Damien loves the weekly and the monthly and the live show. Hell yeah, man. More of y'all are liking Rockin' Robbie Live. Doesn't matter what show, Robbie, as long as you're continuing. I love it all, brother. Well, thank you so much. You're so supportive, Bob. Weekly review is what you put up. Is what put you up. Yeah, absolutely. Comics journalism is almost non-existent. I agree with that. Metal F is definitely been missing Sundays. Oh, me too, buddy. Me too. Neighborhood Merc says, I have to watch Frankenstein, then I plan on watching your review right after. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I hope you give it a thumbs up. Choco says, I love the Frankenstein review. Now I just need a Netflix membership. Yeah, I got you there. Yeah, fuck yeah. Netflix is cracking down on password sharing, or I'd share mine. Hey, what's up, Derek? Handstand Dad says, the Joker is the Absolute Joker book is going to be my first Absolute Batman first printing I'll be getting. Well, definitely one worth getting. Well, thank you for that. I want those low print, multiple printings, Transformers, and Absolutes. Hell yeah, they do. Grand Marquis says, I just got here. Please tell me the weeklies aren't going away. The weekly comic book review is not going away whatsoever. So what's not going to change is the weekly comic book review nor PCP movie night. Those two shows are not changing. Every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll be doing PCP movie night. And every Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, we will be releasing the weekly comic book review. That is not changing. So there you go. All right, there's no DC sneak peek tonight, but I just figured I got my stack of Lunar books here. I haven't read any of them yet, right? But I just wanted to show you what you have looking forward to. Me talking about on the weekly comic book review. There's a new one, Liquidator from Mad Cave. I'll be reading that. I'll be reading Gunpowder Profits #2 from Mad Cave. Dick Tracy #13. I've been really enjoying Dick Tracy. From Fantagraphics, we've got Uncle Scrooge issue #2. I liked that first one, felt very classic. From Titan Comics, we have Conan the Barbarian issue #26. It's a dope cover right there. From Dynamite Comics, Peter Cannon Thunderbolt issue #1. Looking forward to checking that one out. From Greg Weisman, who was just on the show, Gargoyles Fantastic Four. Vampirella Armageddon issue #5. I've been enjoying this book. Thundercats Panthro, which is a one-shot comic by Ed Brisson. From DC, I'll be reading Action Comics 1092. Aquaman #11, the DC KO tie-in. Batman Static Beyond, a Elseworlds crossover between Batman Beyond and Static. Court, Children of the Round Table, issue #3. This book's actually been surprising me. I've been having a lot of fun with that. Green Lantern Corps, issue #10. The first post, what was that? The Starbreaker Supremacy issue of Green Lantern Corps. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, look, Batman 162 is here. A week after Batman #3, we have Batman 162, which is the next part of Hush Sucks. So there you go. Then we've got Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice, issue number 5. The final issue of Batman Dark Patterns, issue number 12. And from the team of Ice Cream Man, Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, issue number 4. And from Image Comics, Blood Squad 7, issue number 11. From Joe Casey, friend of the show. The Author, Immortal, issue number 2. Issue number 1 made my pick of the week. What about issue number 2? Well, we will find out. Spawn 370. Yeah, that is an Akira homage on that court issue. We've got Youngblood issue number 1, a bagged one. It's got a card in it. We'll open that one up live. Not live, but during the review show, I'll open it up and see what card I got, because I've actually already read this. Then we got Redcoat issue number 15. G.I. Joe Real American Hero 322. Colossal Kaya issue number 1. It's a one-shot. Got some James Herron in there. It's got some Wes Craig, obviously. Kaya is a great book. Very excited for that. And the final book I got from Lunar, and this is not, I haven't gotten anything from Penguin yet. Haven't grabbed them at least yet. Transformers number 26. Very, very excited to dive into this. So that's what I got to read. I haven't read anything yet, but those books will be read and reviews delivered on the weekly comic book review this week, and that will never stop. PCP movie night is never going to stop as well. Or at least not in 2026. Thank you, Thomas. First time I've caught you live. Love your Sunday shows and the movie talks. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. What's up, Pete? How can there be 2 volumes of Batman happening at the same time? Bad planning. Hush Sucks Part 2. Yeah, that's basically it right there. All right, so I look here and I see that most people love weekly comic book review. That ain't changing. A lot of love for PCP movie night. That ain't changing. Monthly comic book review, the live show I do every. Thank you, Metal Elf. Two Gun Pedro sent this to me. Monthly comic book review. That's not changing. We're still going to be hosting that pretty much on the last Thursday of every month going forward for at least the next year. Excuse me. Next one of that is actually on a Friday. It'll be on Black Friday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there's that. So that's not changing. That's not changing. That's not changing. Rockin Robbie Live. Let's talk about that. Rockin Robbie Live is going to change. When I did that show with MJ Comics, well, okay, so first of all, even before that, about a year ago, I was talking to my good friend Jesse. And I was talking to him about the channel and things like that. And he was asking me, because I was telling him about, like, I was kind of like getting burnt out on certain things. And he was like, well, what is it? What is it? And he was asking me a lot of good questions. He was like, what do you want to do? Like, what is it you want to do? Who cares what's working? Who cares what you think other people want? What do you want to do? And that conversation with him really invigorated me. And I was going to shift up the channel a little bit last year. But then, understanding that this year, 2025, was the 10th anniversary of PCP, I didn't want to just change some things all of a sudden. I wanted to kind of like double down and go forward, right? So we redesigned the thumbnail for Rockin Robbie Live, and we redesigned some of the elements graphically of Rockin Robbie Live, and we did the PCPX logo and the PCPX brand, and the PCPX brand led to the DX association with wrestling. And then John Cena went heel, and it led to the heel turn, the infamous heel turn of 2025. And we were having fun with it. And we decided PCP-10, PCPX is meant to be fun, right? Let's just have fun with it and basically be a parody of ourselves almost, in a way. And then as we were nearing the celebration of the actual 10th anniversary, which is July 1st, and we did a show for that like a week or a month later, actually. Just life was happening, and it was just hard to like keep up with things, right? And I had realized at that moment, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do a video and address some things that I feel need to change with the channel. More so things that need to change in my life, which then affects the channel, if that makes sense. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We got Action Fest. We got Horror Fest. Let's push through that. Let's just see what we can do. So now we've made it through Action Fest, Horror Fest, made it through the New York trip, made it through Scare Fest. No more trips for the rest of the year. Nothing to look forward to except for just hopefully calm waters, waves like the Limey. But even last year, I was going to make some changes, and I didn't because it was PCPX. But now we're basically at the end of it, right? We celebrated pretty much this whole year of being 10 years old. And then I was on MJ Comics. So I've been thinking about this for the last year plus. And then I was on MJ Comics, and he was talking to me about what's the future. And I brought it up a little bit. And I think one of the things I said was PCP is now 10 years old. I think it's time to grow up. So what's changing is this. I need to step back from doing as much live content, in particular, live content that involves a lot of prep. Rockin Robbie Live started as me just sitting here talking to you guys every Sunday night for about an hour or two. And then we started adding elements of fun to the show, like Marvel in the 90s, movie reviews, top 5 lists, things like that. We started doing all kinds of things. We did episode by episode animated show reviews, like an annotation on X-Men animation and Batman, and Totally Talking Turtles Tonight and shit like that. Y'all remember those? And after a while, Rockin Robbie Live kind of to me just became like the show that I wanted to craft and produce. Now, I do all that on my own, and I love doing it. But I can't right now, at this point in my life, with my responsibilities to my loved ones, my responsibilities to my job, and my responsibilities to myself, I can't do that Rockin Robbie Live show every week. I can't do it. I can't put together all of that, get it done, and take the time I need for other people in my life and for myself. I can't. So it got me thinking. Because I love doing Rockin Robbie Live, and I've missed being here on Sunday nights talking to you. But I don't need to be up here taking shots of tequila or getting shit-faced or singing fucking songs. I don't need to be up here trying too hard to be entertaining. I can just be Robbie. I could just be Rockin Robbie. Because I think that's what made Rockin Robbie Live, was just me and you being authentic and talking to each other. Right? So I don't know what the future of Rockin Robbie Live is. I do know this. Fairly certain we're not doing a Rockin Robbie Live for the rest of 2025. So this is the last Rockin Robbie Live of 2025. But it will be back. And what I'm thinking is It's Rockin Robbie Live. I don't know if it's going to be every week. I don't know if it's going to be every 2 weeks. I don't know if it's going to be every 3 weeks. I don't know if it's going to be once a month. I don't know what the timing is going to be. But I feel like if Rockin Robbie Live doesn't have to involve DC sneak peek, new movie reviews, Marvel in the 90s, whatever. If it's just me coming to you live and chatting, I think we can do Rockin Robbie Live. And I think we can get it back to even something that was more special than all of the bits, all the spit and polish, all the bells and whistles. We don't need any of that. We never did. And I got wrapped up in that. And I felt like I couldn't do a Rockin Robbie Live if I didn't have like an hour and a half of bits to or segments to deliver to you in addition to just talking to y'all. So, Rockin Robbie Live will be back, but it will be different. But it's not going to be different. It's going to be more like it was. It's just going to be me and you talking. And I'm down for that. And there's going to be topics. There's going to be things I want to talk about. And that's what I feel we're going to be doing for Rockin Robbie Live. How often? I'm not sure. At least once a month. At most, once a week. If I had to guess, once every 2 weeks, to every 2 to 3 weeks, if I had to guess. So that's one thing that is changing, is Rockin Robbie Live. What does that mean for some of our favorite segments? The DC sneak peek, what does that mean? It means the DC sneak peek is gone. That is officially gone. It's not ever happening again. We've already had our last one. I'm sorry. But I'll still be delivering the weekly comic book review as early as I can, in which I'll talk about my DC books. Then, what does that mean for the Marvel in the 90s? And if you remember, we were in the midst of doing DC in the 2000s, Batman Hush, going through Batman Hush. We were in the midst of that. Those are going to continue, but they're not going to be live anymore. They will be presented pretty much in the exact same way, just not live. Does that make sense? So, for instance, I've been clipping out all of the Marvel in the 90s, Image in the 90s, DC in the 80s, DC in the 2000s, Marvel in the 80s. What are all the ones where we go back and we look at older comics, right? Those are usually live segments that get clipped out. I've been clipping those out, and I'm going to save them all up and then start releasing them on a semi-regular basis starting in January, right? And in the meantime, I will be recording new episodes of that. Not live, but I will be recording them as like the same format, recording them and getting them ready. So eventually the segments, the bits that are clipped out will run through those. And then hopefully I will have enough of a back catalog that then Marvel, Image, DC in the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s, whatever the hell, that look back into comics will then start coming out on a regularish basis once I have a back catalog. And that's something I will be working on. We got a super chat from Damien. Chill, Robbie Live. Well, I appreciate, yeah, maybe. I appreciate that. I don't have the Hellboy song loaded up here. Like I said, no bells or whistles. But thank you for the super chat, Damien. I really do appreciate your support. I've met Damien in real life. He's a super cool dude. I love him. I called him a snob a couple weeks ago on Bueller's Coffee and Comic Show. And I don't regret saying that, Damien, and I stand by it. So there you go. Then we got Fable with the super chat. If this is the last Rockin Robbie Live 2025, then let's go out with a bang. The live show will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm assuming you mean heart, but I understand. Yeah. It's just for the rest of the year. Probably no Rockin Robbie lives, but there is still, we got a Festivus stream. We got other things going on. PCP movie nights. But yeah, this is probably the last Rockin Robbie live of the year. I got some things I gotta work on in my personal life, as we were talking about, and I want to get back to this place. One of those things, like I said, was building up a back catalog of look backs into comics in the vein of Marvel in the 90s, DC, Image in the 80s, shit like that, right? Image in the 80s didn't exist. Anyway, so that's what we'll be doing. Movie reviews. So I just dropped the Frankenstein movie review for the Del Toro Frankenstein. I woke up on Friday. I was like, I'm going to watch this. I was like, I got a few hours before my MJ interview. So let me put my thoughts together. I want to do more short form movie reviews like that. Number one, I want to stay caught up with some more modern movies so that you have my thoughts and maybe some other people's thoughts at times. But, we do PCP movie night and I love doing that. Like 2-hour movie reviews, me and a group of friends discussing movies. I love shit like that. That's what I love. But I also love just talking about movies. So my plan is, starting especially in January, really hitting short form new movie reviews. However, also doing short form movie reviews of not new movies. I got a lot of movies that have been sent to me that I got to get through. One we'll get to at the end of the show when we do a little bit of show and tell. That was sent to me by Introspect M, and I'm very excited to dive into it and deliver a video. If everybody who sends me a movie, if I have to wait for a PCP movie night, we're going to be waiting years for us to get to that content. But I can watch a movie when I have extra time, where I'm just chilling, me, my girl, whatever, we're just hanging out. We can watch this movie, and then I can go home and put together a video. Easy. So that Frankenstein video was kind of a test for me to see how I could get it done. I was going to go to the theater today to see Predator, the new Predator movie, but I just didn't have the time. I actually had to cancel my reservation because I had it reserved for 4, but it just wasn't going to happen. But I want to start doing that. But like I said, in the meantime, there's other movies that I haven't seen or movies I want to bring up because I want to recommend so many comics and movies to people. And if I can do these like 8 to 12 minute videos and do them more frequently, I can deliver on more movie content. Not saying that the point is to deliver more content. The point is for me to do exactly what I've always wanted to do with this channel. So if I need to take a step back, if I need to somehow reduce the stress in my life, in all sides of my life, but also still step up, how do I do that? Let's go back to my original passion. What was this show? What was this channel meant to do? Me and my homies talking about what we love and why the things we love matter to us and how they can affect our lives in a positive manner. So boom. So the Frankenstein video was the test, and it actually did pretty well. Now, I'm not expecting that if I did a movie review for like a 30-year-old movie, that anybody's going to fucking watch it. I'm not expecting that. But I'm not doing this for the numbers. I'm not doing this for subscribers. I'm not doing this for that. We're 10 years old, man. PCP's grown up. We are what we are. And it's time to really refocus in and do what we are the best that we can do. Yeah. So, to wrap this up real quick before we take a quick break, then we'll come back to do the second part of the show, I guess. Weekly comic book review stays the same. PCP movie night stays the same. Monthly comic book review stays the same. Creator interviews. I got some things in the works, and I want to get back to that, but I even have a new idea about how to do that, but I'm not ready to really get into that yet, okay? But creator interviews are still going to be a part of the channel too. and interviews with other people in the community. I love conversation. Okay. But those are not going to be like necessarily super regular. Anyway, weekly comic book review, PCP movie night, monthly comic book review. Nothing changes. Rockin Robbie Live. Not coming back till January. Bells and whistles, gone. It's pretty much just me chatting with y'all, right? For like an hour or two. And I think that that's going to be awesome. To be able to just enjoy my Sunday and then wrap it up hanging out with you guys without being stressed about having to set up bits. Because the movie reviews, I feel like in the next couple months as I'm resting, I can build up a backlog of some movie reviews, movies that have been sent to me, movies that I've always wanted to watch, movies to catch up on, and comic book throwbacks and lookbacks like Marvel in the 90s, DC in the 80s, Image in the 90s, things like that. I can build up enough of back catalog, start having that content drop a little bit more regular. At least we'll see. That's the plan. And that's pretty much where we're at. And also, probably less appearances on other shows. Less live appearances on other shows. I have a bad habit of overcommitting. I have a bad habit of wanting to do everything. And I really need to make sure that, number one, I'm healthy. Mentally, physically, spiritually. I need to make sure that I'm there for my loved ones and my friends and my family. I got to make sure I'm there for the shop that I manage, that I run, because I love that place. I love that fucking job. I love that place. And when I'm good for myself and the people in my life, it'll be the best version of Rockin Robbie Live and everything else we do, period. It'll be the best version of it because it'll be like it used to be. Y'all, I've just been kind of tired and exhausted. And I've been feeling it. And it's not just PCP at all. It's everything. It's everything. We all, you know, I'm not the only one with an overwhelming, stressful life. Okay. I am a cool cat. I am a calm dude. But I was lucky and fortunate to have a series of unfortunate events happen in the midst of a very busy period of my life that kind of forced me to open my eyes to potential problems in the future and needing to course correct now. So yeah, weekly comic book review, perfectly fine. PCP movie night, perfectly fine. Monthly comic book review, totally fine for 2026. See and expect more content creator and comic book creator and maybe even filmmaker and actor interviews in the future. Rockin Robbie Live will continue. At what pace? We'll find out. But it will be a more stripped down version that I think will be more authentic and pure. And things that we love that developed on PCP movie night, like short form movie reviews, especially of newer movies and older movies, as well as comic book lookbacks like Marvel, Image, DC in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatnot. Those will continue on their own as their own shows. That's the idea. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live. Actually, before that, I want to show you something that I got real quick. So bear with me for just 1 second. So I'm a complete sucker for anything new as far as like junk food. So I saw these, like, I heard about these like a couple months ago. Tombstone pizzas. So they did these Tombstone tavern pizzas, like beer bar tavern pizzas or whatever. Tried those, they were nice. But I found these, I heard about these French fry crust pizzas, and I finally found one. So this is a Tombstone French fry style crust pizza. This is the chili cheese version. It's got a hamburger chili cheese sauce, mozzarella cheddar, red onion, parsley on a potato crust pizza. Is that going to be good at all? Bruh, I have no idea. But I am going to be trying this. So I'm going to go preheat the oven and get this ready. This is going to be my dinner after the show. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live, presenting the future. Pop culture philosophers. How fucking pretentious is that shit? All right, we're back here on Rockin Robbie Live for a little bit. I grabbed another beer. I didn't grab a glass. Maybe I think I want to save this Blanton's for an even more special occasion. I've had it for almost a month. I think I want to save it for Festivus. Saving that for Festivus, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Just beer for the rest of the show. Let's take a look at the chat. See what's going on. See what's going on. Yeah, I'm a James Bond fan. 100%. Love James Bond. Choco's loving those DNA covers. Evil Face Bad in the house. What's up, Southside Ronan? I've been explaining that throughout the night. Damien says, always need room for your own regular life. Evil Face Bad says, life can drag you away from things at times. Well, absolutely, love you. Yep, absolutely. Please tell me this is a Wolf of Wall Street, we're not going anywhere moments. I've never seen Wolf of Wall Street. I would love to watch it and give you a movie review. Grand Marquis says, relaxing Sunday streams? Yeah, maybe more like a relaxing kind of, like a less of a party atmosphere. Sleepy Reader says, a simpler Rockin' Robbie Live would be just as fun. No worries. Pete says, we love you, Robbie. Derek says, I guess that means PCPX. Robbie does PCP live on stream is not happening. No, it's not. Yeah, just keep it simple, stupid. Right? Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. Well, thank you, Evil. Like, here's the thing. If we can do it, if the show is like, if the show goes to just, if Rockin Robbie Live goes to just us chatting again, it will be more frequent than otherwise, if that makes sense. Joseph, what is up? You did well, Robbie. Relax and take a break. Well, thank you so much. One of my favorite show segments is the DC sneak peek. Maybe turn that into its own video. Well, then I would be like, what? Do a Marvel sneak peek? Do a this? Like, it's just, sorry. Maybe an IG thing or something, maybe. I don't know. Ariaga says, that's all we need. Hanging out, talking about whatever. Yep, exactly. Smooth jazz, rocking. Yeah, smooth jazz, Robbie Live. More videos. Cool. Chop them up. No song needed. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. What's up, Cantonese Comic Kid? How you doing? Can't help but feel I'm losing something. Robbie Live forever. Hey, man. There's still going to be plenty of Rockin' Robbie Lives. Like I said, I don't know what the frequency will be. Hell, I may take these 2 months off, get ahead on some things, address some things, and then be re-energized and ready to fucking go. Enjoyed the short form movie review a lot in a snappy way. Don't always have time to watch the long live chats. Yep, I agree there, Damien. 100%. And when you're doing 2-hour long movie reviews every week, you can't cover a lot of content. Thank you. Frankenstein video was great. Thank you. I actually did a little bit of editing on that video. Like, I didn't edit me. I just did one take, but I put in some stuff, some video clips and some images. And I was like, oh, this is too much. What's up, Cannabis? Pete says, you got thoughts and opinions, Robbie, and we want to hear them. Well, thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. Really says, Rockin' Robbie's been practicing his singing for the past 10 years. The true story is he's ready now for America's Got Talent. Oh, yeah, you're right. Station, Starscream. Oh, Ariaga's got a good point. It doesn't necessarily have to be on Sundays. The live streams could be on any day you feel like. And yeah, we all feel it, man. Got to take care of yourself. Yeah. Holy hell, French fry crust. I know, man. Like, what the fuck, man? Wild. Sounds like heartburn in a box. Yeah, luckily we got medication for that. That's not taking care of yourself. You're right, Don. I wanted to try it. I'll give you a report. It does not take an hour to preheat, but it's good. Stu, what is up? Station gang, how is everyone this evening? Robbie, good to see you on a Rockin' Robbie Live again. Missed these. Me too. That's why I wanted to do it and address some things, and we'll be back in 2026. And who knows? Maybe there'll be something special we sneak in. You never know. What's up, Ouroboros? Watching Russia with Love. That's a great one. That's the Bond number 2, basically, from Russia with Love. Love that movie. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the airing of the grievances, too. Festivus will be fun this year, GT. Dude, what? I'll buy you Wolf of Wall Street. All right. You're more than welcome to, Pete. You send it to me. I'll watch it. I'll review it. I'll do a short form review. Yes, Anthony. I love The Social Network. They're doing a sequel to that. PCP After Dark. We thought about doing that one time, something like that. What's up, Otaku? Love from India, man. Love you too. Pete with Super Chat, $10 Canadian for The Wolf of Wall Street. How have you not seen this movie? By the way, did you finish Breaking Bad? I'd like a review of that. Pete, I did finish Breaking Bad. I fucking loved it. I was watching, I blazed through 2 seasons of Better Call Saul. So right after I finished, I loved Breaking Bad. I loved it. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I loved it, loved it, loved it. It took me a second to get into season 1. I thought it slowed down a little bit at the beginning of season 3, but then it just completely fucking hooked me. Love that show. After watching that, after finishing the final episode, I immediately went and watched El Camino, and I really enjoyed that. And then I blazed through the first 2 seasons of Better Call Saul, and then because of Horror Fest, I didn't watch an episode of Better Call Saul since like August, right? And then like last Sunday, I started watching again. Like I had only seen the first episode of season 3, and then now I got 2 episodes left of season 3, which I'll probably watch tonight as soon as I'm done here. And then I'll be 3 seasons into Better Call Saul. So yeah, I loved Better Wolf of Wall Street. I haven't seen it yet. I loved Breaking Bad, really liked El Camino, and I'm adoring Better Call Saul. So hell yeah. Gun Fanatic says newer movie reviews would be dope. Hell yeah. Blanton's enjoy how bougie. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll save this for Festivus. This is like a Christmas cup of cheer right there is what that is, man. And hell yeah, Pete. You sent that. I'll get that $10 Canadian on the 21st of December. And then I'll get Wolf of Wall Street. I'm a Scorsese fan, so I really want to check it out. Oh, The Year of the Heel? The Year of the Heel's kind of been over. Like the face turn already happened. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but it happened. It was kind of like a anticlimactic face turn, kind of like John Cena. But if you want to continue on with The Year of the Heel for the next 2 months, go for it. Anthony says, my favorite James Bond is The Spy Who Loved Me and the Daniel Craig ones. I think the best one, my favorite might be Casino Royale. I think that's probably the best one, but like, I have some favorites, man. I love Goldfinger. I know a lot of us do. I love Thunderball. I really do. I love On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I love GoldenEye. I love World Is Not Enough. I love Living Daylights. I think Timothy Dalton is very much underappreciated as a James Bond. I think Moonraker is overhated. I'll say that. Yo, what's up, E? 9-panel grid in the house. How you doing? Metal Elf is a fan of Goldfinger. He's the man with the golden touch. That Midas touch. GT says, the Festivus airing of grievances will start with you, Robbie. You have disappointed me in so many ways this year. Hell yeah. Want to watch Pluribus Saint Creator? I've heard about that. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, I want to do more things like that. I want to stay caught up on things. And yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh yeah, should I watch that show? I haven't. Is that Netflix show, that Monster or whatever? Do. Oh, I've never seen Nosferatu. That's on Netflix now? I have Netflix. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Love that one too, man. Saying you've never seen Wolf of Wall Street is like saying you've never seen the Titanic. You know, we all got those gaps in our pop culture. I'm not the biggest fan of The Spy Who Loved Me. I don't know. Roger Moore's not my favorite Bond. There are Roger Moore movies I like. Mostly Live and Let Die. I do like The Man with the Golden Gun. just because of Christopher Lee. I like that song. The man with the golden gun. I've never seen a 007 movie. It's always something I've wanted to cover. Bro, you've never done a 007 movie? So I've thought many times about how to cover James Bond on this channel. And we did a podcast, right? There is a podcast we did where we covered all of Bond. But like, I've been thinking about it and I was like, I think I want to start doing franchise reviews of Bond, specifically involving the different Bonds. Like doing all the Sean Connery ones together, all the Roger Moore together, all the Pierce Brosnan ones together, you know, shit like that. That's what I'm thinking. But dude, yeah. Let's do some fucking James Bond, man. .007 movie month for Action Fest. Not a bad idea. I was kind of thinking about going full Van Damme this year for Action Fest, but I don't know. I wonder if we could get enough channels involved to cover all the James Bond movies, but I couldn't do it. Man, Octopussy might be my least favorite James Bond movie. I don't know. Die Another Day probably is my least favorite James Bond movie, but I've never seen Wolf of Wall Street either, says Anthony. Wolf of Wall Street is overrated, says Cannabis. That would be tight. Yeah, massive hole in your movie watching life, man. I fucking love James Bond. I own them all except for the newest one. I don't have that one right now. Hell yeah, I have to check that out, Ouroboros. Hell yeah. All right. So that's pretty much what I had for you guys tonight. I just want to kind of address that. I've never seen Sons of Anarchy. So right now it's Better Call Saul is like my focus for TV. And then what I may start doing is as I finish a TV series or show, I may do a short form video. So that's the plan. You know, I don't know. Like, I love doing certain things like the movie reviews. I want to keep doing more of those. I want to do more creator conversations and outside of comic books in particular too, right? And we got some ends and we got some ideas and we got some people interested. So we just got to figure it out, man. It's all about timing. It's all about shit. You know, it's just, we've been doing this for 10 years and now it's time to be like, you know what? There's no more chasing anything. We're not chasing anything here. We're not chasing numbers. We're not chasing views and subscribers. We're not chasing milestones anymore. We do want to hit 25,000 though. That's very close. So let's get that going, please, everybody. Like, subscribe, all that shit. But no, we just want to get back to why we started doing this in the first place, which honestly, we've never really lost sight of, you know, but like sometimes you get too committed to the bit and you start chasing stuff that isn't what made it worthwhile to begin with. Does that make sense? I don't know. I haven't seen the Welcome to Derry yet. No, I haven't. What's up, Taki? Nice to see you, man. Rockin Robbie unplugged in 2026. Yeah, I think that might be the best way to think about it. Yeah, unplugged. I like that. What's up, Link? How you doing? Yo, Link, Fable, y'all are here. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to be revealing real quick the November and PCP movie night lineups. All right. It all starts tomorrow. November is Lord of the Rings November. We're doing the entire trilogy week to week, movie by movie. It starts tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be talking about the Fellowship of the Ring, and we are doing the extended editions. So Lord of the Rings, Fellowship, extended tomorrow night, PCP Movie Night. The following week, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, extended edition. The following week, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King Extended Edition. And then before we go on our end of the year break, the week after Return of the King, which is December 1st, we're doing White Christmas on PCP Movie Night. This one is brought to you by Chocos26 and his amazing family. They sponsored this. They sent me this about a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago. And I watched it for the first time like a year and a half ago. And very excited to talk about White Christmas. And the very next week, we're going to be talking about Black Christmas, the original 1974 movie. We did this in 2020, but we feel like we have a more robust panel and more robust ideas and opinions. So we're doing it again. Plus, we just like the 1-2 punch of doing something so pure and wholesome like White Christmas and then something like Black Christmas. So tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, The Fellowship of the Ring. Week after, The Two Towers. The week after, The Return of the King. December 1st, White Christmas. And then the following Monday night, Black Christmas. And then we are taking a quick break for the rest of 2025. And we'll be back very strong in 2026, y'all. We already have cemented the panelists for the first 2 months. No, the first 3 months, actually, I think. Shit. Actually, I don't think I've sent the March Madness list out. Anyway, we have a really great lineup. We'll be revealing that soon. We might have to do another, at least one more Rockin Robbie Live this year just to do that, right? Link says, I'm looking forward to this. Haven't watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy in a minute. Anthony says, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. Well, get to cracking on Fellowship of the Ring right now. Kyle is in the building, says, what's up, everyone? Glad to be here. Pete says, I've never seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies. That's my gap in movies where you better get to cracking. ODS says, there's only one return, Rockin' Robbie, and it ain't King. It's of the Jedi. Clerks 2, right? Yeah. Thank you, Two Gun. We are watching the extended cuts, Evil. Yep, the extended cuts. So Fellowship is tomorrow. Yeah, I know, Pedro. Thank you, Two Gun. You're going to be spotlighted in a moment for show and tell. So tomorrow night, PCP Movie Night, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, extended. Following week, The Two Towers, extended. Next week, The Return of the King, extended. The week after that, White Christmas. And the week after that, Black Christmas. It's pretty good PCP Movie Night lineup for the rest of the year. Yeah, definitely right now. Extended cut's almost 4 hours long. It's like 3.5 for the first one, yeah. It's long, but it doesn't feel that long, at least to me. We'll be having that discussion tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. All right. Is there anything else? No, let's just, yep, no. All right, time for show and tell, y'all. First up, one of the things I would love to do on this channel is just share more of the stuff I love, not just in a random bits like hidden away on Rockin Robbie Live, but on like separate videos. So if you know and have paid attention, you know I'm a big fan of the Marvel Essential comics. Cheap, black and white reprints of old Marvel comics. I have now made it my mission to gather up as many of those as possible. Now I have some over there. Primo in my collection is all of the Tomb of Dracula ones. I got Monster Frankenstein. I got Fantastic Four. I got Punisher, Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman, a bunch of things. I've been snatching up what I can when I can find it cheaply. I just got Essential Wolverine, Volume 1. This has John Buscema artwork in black and white. I love the Essentials. If you ever find Essentials at a really good price, good deal, let me know because I want them all. I really fucking do. I love seeing the artwork in black and white. I just love these things. Another one I got, was very excited, was the Essential Man Thing Volume 1. So, pretty freaking cool. I've never read this Man Thing stuff, but I want to go through them. And that's something I can do with being able to focus more on things like that, on sharing things I love in like videos and short form stuff. Like I want to have short form content, and I don't mean shorts, okay? But honestly, I've been thinking I need to get Opus clips. We got some super chats tonight, so maybe I can use those to get Opus clips and start working on some shorts, because I ain't got time for that. But I mean like short form content, 8 to 12 minutes long, as well as the longer form content that we do. All right. So our buddy John Spiliotopoulos, aka Castle. Spilio works at a comic shop, past, present, future comics, I believe, in Florida. They do a show on Wednesday nights over at the EXP. I checked out one a couple weeks ago, and I got a really great deal on this Verotic comic from Glenn Danzig and Duke Mighton. I've never read them, never looked in them. They got Simon Bisley covers. It's Satanica, and these prices are not what I paid because they gave me a really good deal. So check out the EXP because you actually find really good deals on comics. I was just on there to say what's up. I was not expecting to see something like this. I don't see stuff like this come through my comic shop. So I was very happy to get them. So that's issue number 1. That's issue number 2. And that's issue number 3. So I got those. I think I got them for like $25 all together. Let me open one up. I haven't opened them up yet. I do believe, Pete, that the VHS for, Simon Bisley does the covers. Duke Mighton on the art here. Let me find a page I can show you, because so far it's just been titties on every page. All right, the interior art is honestly not that solid. It kind of looks like there wasn't a single page I could show you there. There's nice ads right there. I don't think there was a single page I could show you. Fuck it, I'll just go. I don't think the art's super solid on this. It kind of reminds me of like later, like late 90s Top Cow, like Spirit of the Tao and shit like that. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed by the interior of the art, but I don't know. I never read a lot of these Verotic comics, so let's open up issue number 2 and see what happens. Yeah, definitely not safe for work. That's a decent page right there. It's like, it's got a lot of like nudity and stuff like that, but it's not even like sexy. It's kind of rough looking, man. I don't know, man. There's something inside of me though that when I see I don't have any of the. Oh, look at that dude's big ass dick. Oh my god, what the fuck? This video is going to get demonetized now. Thank you for the super chats. Huh. Well, I'm going to read those. Maybe I'll do a video on them. I won't get to show much of the comic probably, but fuck it. Huh. But I got those. Satanica. All right. From Introspect M. From 28 years later, loves the dong. I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it. Huh. Yeah, Verotic comics are not for the weak. I love Terrence McKenna. I don't think I have Titanic on VHS, do I? I don't think I do. I fucking might. I got a lot of VHSs. Got to read One Piece? That's a lot to get through, man. Maybe. But yeah, maybe I read the One Piece Omnibus Volume 1 and do it. Oh, dude, I've never seen the Hobbit comic book, Evil. I don't know what you're talking about. Send me a link. Probably not here in the chat, but like send me a link, like wherever you're at on Facebook, IG, something like that. Send me a link. I'd like to check it out. All right, Introspect M sent me a VHS, and he said that this is a movie he's never seen anywhere except for on VHS. And one of the things I love to talk about here is the importance of physical media. And like, for instance, that's something I would like to do. Maybe I should do, like, I would love to do a video about the importance of physical media, right? Like, that's important to me. I should do that video. Anyway. And one of the things I love to say is more movies are available on VHS than there are when they converted to DVD. A lot of movies didn't make the conversion over to DVD. Same thing when they moved over to Blu-ray. Not a lot of movies made that conversion over. Same thing to 4K. Definitely the same thing in the streaming. Not everything is available. He said this is a movie he's only ever seen on VHS. Never anywhere else. He sent it to me, wanted me to watch it, and I want to make a video about it. This is Future Hunters. I have never heard of this movie, never seen it. It has Robert Patrick in it, I believe. Yeah, it's got Robert Patrick in it. Pretty sure it's from the 80s. 1985. This is a Vestron 1989 VHS. Has anybody ever seen this? Future Hunter? But yeah, this is like, for instance, I want to watch this on VHS and I want to make a video about it. I'm very excited to. And Link says, Robert Patrick, say less. Introspect, thank you so much. Very, very excited for that. Hell yeah. The White Golden Lord and Double Dragon. Comic Pizza says, I'm nervous seeing the future of pop culture philosophers. And as Taki says, it's all good, Comic Pizza, just a slow down for real life. Slow down while trying to deliver more, if that makes sense. All right. Two Gun Pedro sent me a Horror Fest package. That is fucking phenomenal, and I got to show it off before we dip out here. First of all, there are these prints, like 8x10 prints. I was showing these to a very dear friend, and she was like, you got to frame these and find a place. You got plenty of spaces, but you got to frame these and put them up. And I agree. So they're all from Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. Look at that. Elsa Lancaster as the bride. Boris Karloff as the monster. And a lot of these are like they're production photos, right? So they're like photos that were taken on set. They're not necessarily movie stills. And that's what I love. Some of them are very famous images like that one. Some of them are very, I love this next one. This might be my favorite one. But this has definitely got to go up in the house. But it's a very like kind of like a more candid shot. Elsa doing her makeup as the bride. How about this shot of Boris as the monster? How fucking cool are these, y'all? Here's a famous one. These are fucking dope as shit. So Two Gun, thank you so much for sending those. Also in that package was this book. It's All in Your Head. Second Dose edition by Sean Koss or Kos. So I've done some flipping through it. What it seems to be is it's an artist who has done an image for different disorders and phobias. So that's attention deficit disorder, and that's his representation of it, and then an explanation of it. Insomnia, an explanation of it, and then an image representing insomnia. This is really cool shit. Postpartum depression. This is really cool. The art is absolutely amazing. All right, here's social anxiety disorder and Stockholm syndrome as their own images right there. It's dark, but the line work is amazing. All right, now we're in the phobia part of the book. Let me find one that I know what it is. Oh, agoraphobia. Look at that. Pretty freaking dope. Oh, and there's even more stuff in the back. This is Where Is My Mind? But pretty freaking cool. It's All in Your Head by Sean Kos. And in the package was the shirt, which I believe is connected to this artist. Pretty certain. Pretty certain it's the same artist, but that says it says Any Means Necessary. That's the front of the shirt. The back of the shirt says, if you don't heal what hurt you, you'll bleed on those who don't cut you. And that's the back right there. So Two Gun, thank you for the shirt and the book. He also sent me some VHSs. This is the 1926 silent film The Bat, which was a direct influence on Bob Kane doing Batman. This is a double disc set that also has clips from the Adam West Batman show, right? Yeah, 30 minutes of Bat fun, classic scenes from the TV series starring Adam West, including exclusive interviews. So yeah, this is just an interesting artifact, right? Where they put out this Bat movie and packaged it with some Batman clips because the inspiration, I don't know if that's something you could do today. Here is The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I think is a very much underappreciated exorcism movie. So that's awesome. How about some Roger Corman goodness? The Terror, starring Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson. I remember back when AMC Monster Fest did these DVD, like double or triple features or something. And that was when I first got a hold of The Terror. Fucking love that movie. How about the original Wicker Man on VHS? You know, when I first started collecting VHS, I had a lot of people send me stuff, but I was getting a lot of stuff that just was not necessarily what I was like, this isn't necessarily what I wanted my VHS collection to be. Two Gun sends me things 100% that are what I want my VHS collection to be, including the original Wicker Man, which we've never covered on PCP. How about this one, bruh? I had this one VHS. I had this one on VHS. Wore it out, if you know what I mean. Very excited to have it back again. How about Embrace of the Vampire starring Alyssa Milano? One of those late night after dark, softcore erotic vampire fictions starring Alyssa Milano. Big fan of that movie. How about this one? Dracula Rising. I've never seen this. Dracula Rising weaves the ultimate vampire legend, the romance and tragedy of one man's undying passion that led him to sell his soul. In this epic horror, Vlad Dracula, played by Christopher Atkins, exchanges salvation for immortality so that he may avenge the brutal death of his true love. 1993? Bro, I never even heard of this movie. Two Gun, you're the shit. How about Frank Langella's Dracula from Universal on VHS? That's fucking dope. Let's keep that Dracula theme going. How about Brides of Dracula from Hammer Horror? I was just at Scarefest and I picked up Curse of Frankenstein. And now I got Brides of Dracula. I love this fucking movie. So Two Gun, thank you so much. And the last VHS. And I almost got all the Mummy ones now. How about The Mummy's Ghost on VHS? That's fucking dope. So from Two Gun Pedro, The Mummy's Ghost. Brides of Dracula. Frank Langella's Dracula. Sexy ass 70s Dracula right there. Dracula Rising. Embrace of the Vampire. And I'm right there with you. Metal Elf. I would embrace Alyssa Milano as well. The original Wicker Man. The Terror. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And this really cool double tape set of the original Silent the Bat, which was a direct inspiration to Bob Kane's Batman, visually, at least. This cool shirt. From the artist that did this cool book, It's All in Your Head. Can't wait to really check that out. And then some really badass Bride of Frankenstein prints that definitely are going to be framed and hung up in this house. So thank you. And Introspectim sending me Future Hunters starring Robert Patrick from 1985. Vestron Video. That's a goddamn artifact right there. So thank you guys so much. I will be reviewing the future one, for instance, and Dracula Rising, which I've never seen, so I'll watch that VHS. Anyway, hell yeah. The Mummy's Hand is my favorite. I love the fucking Mummy's Hand. I have that one too. I have the Mummy's Hand, the Mummy's Ghost. I don't remember what the other one I have is. I have the Mummy too, but then there's the Mummy's Curse. Hand, Ghost, Curse. What's the other one? The Mummy's Hand, the Mummy's Ghost, the Mummy's Curse, the Mummy's Tomb. I don't know which one of those. One of those I don't think I have right now. Got to check it out. Got to send Robbie Into Deep. Into Deep. That sounds so familiar. 1999 film. Omar Epps, LL Cool J. Yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah, Taki, you send me that and we'll do it together. She was in Commando. Hard to think of her another way, regardless how sexy she became. She's also in Double Dragon. Yeah, I love The Wicker Man. Fable says, just saw the trailer for Future Hunters. Never thought from the title it'd be a Kung Fu movie. Fuck, it's a Kung Fu movie? Shit, let's go. Yeah, thank you, Two Gun. I loved it, man. Oh, did you know? I don't know what that means if it was gas. Does that mean it's bad or is it good? Yeah, those are great, aren't they? Hell yeah, man. Trinity, do they have that one? I don't fucking know, man. Is this a joke? Is there a... No, there's not a table of contents. That's funny. Oh, they're in alphabetical order. Let's see. Nope, that one's not on there. Nope, they're not in alphabetical order. Maybe it's on here. I don't fucking know. There's some T ones, but I don't see that one. Pyrophobia. Abnormal fear of fire. There's one. Look at that. That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, right? I think it's pretty dope. I figured it was a joke. I just didn't get it. How do I feel about Titans Conan's run? I got all the way back to issue number 1, Glorious. I even got the Savage Sword books. I love it. I love all of them. I think they're great. I got issue number 26 in my stack to read for this week. Jim Zub's been doing a great job. Jim Zub's been on the channel one time. We actually reviewed Conan the Barbarian for Fable's Crew's Choice this year. And Jim Zub was there. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely check it out. All right. We're dipping out. We love you. Thank you so much. Future PCP. Pam Greer's in Too Deep too? All right, Taki, send it to me. And we'll cover it together. Sounds good to me, bro. I'm down. I would love to do something like that. Hell yeah. All right. We love you. We're dipping out. Rockin Robbie Live. Maybe we'll do it. I think we'll be doing at least one more for the rest of the year. So this is not the last one. Fuck it. We'll do one more because we got to reveal the January, February lineup for PCP movie night. So yeah, we got to do that at least. So we'll do another one of these coming up soon. Anyway, this has been super fun. Nice touching base with y'all. Love you. Gas means good. Okay. I remember having to have an employee tell me what cap meant. Oh, it means bullshit. Oh, that's interesting. All right. We love you guys. We're dipping out. Peace. We'll catch you tomorrow night for Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, 8 p.m. Central Time. Station. Take care of yourselves. We love you. Be excellent to each other. And party on.